Good afternoon, everyone. Here we have a special guest, Jordan Quiles, researching about the Indus River civilization. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, how do we know about the Indus River civilization's government?
So, we actually don't know much about the Indus River Valley Civilization's government. We have two major sites, Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa. Those were the two biggest cities in the Indus River Valley Civilization. But we don't know much because we don't actually, we never understood their writing.
Oh.
And because we never understood their writing, we could never understand the symbols, we don't understand a lot about what they actually did, what their government was, what their religion was. So, to answer your question, I don't necessarily know. And we have several theories at the research site, but we do believe that they had some sort of centralized state government or something similar to that, or the communities had like representatives similar to like what we have in the United States. But we don't necessarily know for sure.
What do we know about their religion?
Again, religion is something hard for us to figure out, but we do believe they did have some sort of religion that is not really yet understood. We think that they had a mother goddess who was a fertility god to them, and we also know due to Mohenjo-Daro there's a site called the Great Bath, which is the biggest building in the city, and we believe it might have been a baptismal pool for these Mohenjo-Daro residents.
So, what about their art and culture? Do we find any interesting about?
Yes, we find some pretty interesting art and culture. We know they had very urban cities. We do know that they had very advanced infrastructure, and they had very symmetrical bricks that were built for every building. It's pretty advanced, very surprising. We do know that they had pottery. They made bracelets, beads, bangles, things you'd wear on your arms. And we do know that they had these, which is pretty interesting, they had seals, and each person would trade, and they would trade these seals, which is like identifying them as their person, as like kind of like their business. So think of like a business card. It goes along with what they're trading, and they didn't have money. They actually just traded items, and we know that they actually traded with the Mesopotamians because we found those seals that I just talked about in Mesopotamia. So it's pretty interesting.
So, what about the environment of the Indus River civilization?
Sure, yeah. The environment was pretty perfect for the Indus River residents, actually. It had 2 floods a year, making it perfect for the season so they could grow their crops in the alluvial soil, and which means like, the soil was rich after the flood, and it never flooded to the point where it would destroy their civilizations. And like I said, they had very strong infrastructure. They actually had a better drainage system than most Europeans at the time, where it was gravity-based, and it would flood into canals. It's a good environment. They were near a river, the Indus River, and they had quite a bit of advantage environmentally from enemies because they were surrounded by mountains. That whole area didn't have mountains, but around them was, so it was hard for attackers to come in, and they didn't really get attacked much. And actually, I can show you right here. So it was about right here, the Indus River Valley, between Pakistan and India. And see these kinds of borders here and these rivers, the Indus River, that's what they based their cities on. So that's where we know they came from, and that's where the Mohenjo-Daro sites and the Harappan site. The Harappa is up north, whereas Mohenjo-Daro is more south.
About their science and technology, do they have any advanced science or technology?
Yes, they do actually. We know they had a very precise system of science and technology. Actually, they were some of the first to create weight, measurement, time. They created most of these concepts and were able to measure them with extreme accuracy. They measured the bricks of their buildings to make sure they were all even. They had very specific measurement systems, and very small ones that were actually precisely accurate. The smallest one was like a few centimeters off in measurement to what we have today. So it was pretty surprising to see how advanced their technology was. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.